Hi, traders. We have the Iron Dome recovery rally happening in the markets today. A lot of dead cat bounces, probably nice fades. I'll get to them, but the headline of this video is how US dollar yen can get to 164. You can see we're confirming on the daily here. See if they blew out the 4-hour divergence. Trying to, hasn't quite yet. But this is how you do the count, and I'll show you it's similar in the S&Ps, how you could end up with 6,000 before it's over. Um, all you do basically is everyone knows these were 30-year highs, right? And Japanese intervened and it was successful for a while last year. And then you have to go back, another 20 years for the same level. So what you can do to come up with the 164 is you just take this whole range right here from basically in round numbers 140 to 52, and 52 is the breakout. So what you do is you just tack on the 1200 pips above 152 and it gives you 164. I'm not saying that the Japanese won't intervene and that it's going to be a straight path. And if you really want to get bearish yen, you have to wait for it to negate the breakout under 152. Okay, that's going to be your bull bear line on yen. Everyone with me? And that's how you get the same type of pattern in the S&P. So I have to go to the weekly. So if you take, let me move my head, the high at the end of 2021 at 4,800, and you consider 4,800 a breakout, that's why when there is a correction, it's going to be so important to hold. It'd be analogous to the 152 level in the yen, that you just take this whole range from 4,800 and 34, let's call it 1,300 handles. And you tack 1,300 handles onto the breakout at 4,800 and you get 61. So you could just, say it's a big ascending triangle coming off the lows from October 22, and you have that flat line at 4,800 and an uptrend coming in right around 44. Maybe the S&Ps will be that deep. So what's happening today is a bounce. I don't see that much to do. You're getting a little bit of a pop. Euro barely popping, only up 2. Right, hard to negate what happened last week. Here's your daily. We had the breakdown. Traders know, here's my red dot. I was looking for 106. Actually think that we could trade 595 is 78.6 back, that we could trade even deeper than that before it's over. 106.70, 106 was also a target in the Dixie, red dot drawn a while ago. But I could see maybe one more surge up here to 106.70. And since I've been looking for this target, I'm going to try it here, being wrong over 740, because, you never know the difference between a top, just another top, and a little pullback, and the top until you look in the rearview mirror and time has passed. So you probe it, you don't know if it's going to be the top, could be just good for a trade, but I'll most likely be trying that. That would be maybe around 105.40 or so in the euro. We have cable. I've been talking 23.60. That's up a bit. This speed line comes in around 23.20. So I'll be looking at that. Aussie, the weak sister line comes in under 63.5, as deep as 62.5. And just because I have price targets Doesn't mean I'm going to do it right away. I want to see some work at those levels and some at least short-term divergences showing up on the 30-minute and the 2 hour and 4 hour before I get aggressive about those levels. But I will be attempting those levels at 106.70, 106.80, and the other levels I talked about. Canada achieved one of the levels uh, up here at 137. Maybe it's going to go for 38 and a half. So keep an open mind. It'll keep your account open. Um, Looking at gold came in higher. It's already fading quite a bit from where it was Friday. We had a very big reversal in gold after a phenomenal move. But to me, it looks like this is going to be high for a while. Maybe we could see 2,200 in gold down the road. Silver way outperforming gold. It too had a very negative day. Um, Look what it held last night. 27 and a half, 20, the lowest 27.24, but it held this moving average, which came in at 62. So to me, it looks like it could be flagging here. Could it blow to new highs on an Israeli response since we're getting a recovery without an Israeli response. So, you have a lot more risk, higher beta trying to short the metals than, trying to short euro for one more low or cable for one more low. And, that may be where you want to go. So I think the highs are in for a while. Maybe Israel does nothing for a few weeks. That'd be enough time. I think silver could retrace to back to the breakout around 26 or lower. So we'll see. I haven't put a short on yet. It's only Monday. See what happens on a potential turnaround Tuesday. We're getting a big bounce in S&Ps because the Iron Dome was so successful, and S&Ps are up pretty good. Here's your 4 hour being contained here. Now, last week, that Friday, the short was from 52 to 52.20. Okay. And we got to 52.20. And by Friday, we were at 51.90. So even if you sold it at 52, again, I'll preach. If you didn't take some partial profits down there on Friday, um, I don't know how many times I have to repeat the same thing. You have to get paid. And the way you get paid is to take partial profits. And what you could be doing now is looking where to put them out again. I think this 52 level is still going to be resistance, even though we're getting a nice bounce on a relief rally that World War III didn't start yesterday, but it did start. Okay, Israel is going to give us some time because now they see a coalition coming together. Iran has not only been a problem for Israel, and even though China brokered a truce and some type of deal between the Saudis and the Iranians, they're still natural enemies. So the Saudis and Jordan and other Sunni countries have had historical animosities with Shiite countries. Um, so there may be a coalition. For years, I believe there's been something on the table for Iran. And, when you think about it, even the population would not, as long as they're not collateral damage on what's going to happen in the future, would actually be pleased to see a new regime that murders women for not wearing a burqa, that regime, the morality police. A lot of people in Iran would like to have the life that Westerners have. So, you have some pressure from the outside along with pressure from on the inside that maybe countries that Iran has been a thorn in the side get together and deal with them. So we'll see how that plays out. Still believe that we have an important top for a correction in the S&Ps. Let me see what the 2 week off number is. for this week. So for it to turn good by Friday, we need closes back over 52.12. So, that's doable. And in fact, if it rallies to the off number, I'll take a shot at 52.12. So I did take partial profits on the short. We got through the 49 area. 49 is not providing any support, but resistance, it broke that 9-week moving average back above it. I still think that we top. There's a lot of damage done between the high of the move at 52.85 and where we are now. That's still 120 pips away. I don't think we're going to see a new high. I'd be selling rips and that as well. And let's take a look at yields. So here's TLT, and it's pressing again in that level, very close to the line now at the 89 level. So it might be waiting for another turn down in risk before it turns, wait for a reversal day, but we're here now. We're at the dot. So this move, if you were short, this was forecasted. Now here we are. So far, that's all I see is a dot. And the 10-year, which tried to come off at 460, is now making new highs, but diverging. And I'm thinking it peaks between, let's see, I think we're headed towards the 71.8, 78.6 back, which is 474. So I'd watch it right here around the 470, 468. So you're basically having an unwind to some degree of the action from Friday because there wasn't an immediate retaliation. Pay attention to TLT and yields up around the 468 to 74 area for this to put in some type of high. Okay, so we'll see. That could happen. If you believe what happened in the bonds in October was real, then this is just correcting that huge advance. And even if it's a bear market rally, this could be A, and this could be B, and then this could be C. So good hunting to everyone this week. I have a great guest tomorrow. I have Henrik Zeberg, who's a super bull, and then looking for a really serious bear market and bust. So it'd be great to hear a super bull and what he's looking at ahead. I would guess that if we get that correction and pullback in the S&Ps, that's what he most likely is going to view it as, with higher highs to come. And I'm in that camp as well. WTI, kind of interesting. You know, it could be viewed as a failing rally. And, we start to take this support level out. I think crude can at least pull back towards this 80 level, and 80 is going to be real important. We break 80 and we have the resumption of the downtrend to challenge these lows, which doesn't seem like it could be possible with what's happening in the Middle East, but price is king. Also, you have to keep in mind now, carrying positions overnight, that, these things, you don't know what's going to happen geopolitically overnight. It's a good time to reduce leverage or not use leverage. I mean, when you buy a stock, you don't use any leverage. So for these instruments, go down. If you're used to trading the bigs in the S&Ps, go down to a mini. If you're used to trading a mini in the S&P, go down to a micro until the dust settles. And it's going to be a while. So keep in mind that risk management is key. There's only one thing above it, and that's psychology. So use less leverage during these times and be aware of overnight risk. Last Friday, I said that, would people want to go home long? And We had a pretty rotten close before this bounce, right? And S&Ps now are right at the 50-day. NASDAQ actually held the 50-day. Maybe it could eke out a new high. Apple's not acting so good today after, a nice little short squeeze. Maybe there's something left to 180, but this to me is still trading under the breakdown and just shook out shorts. I'm glad I covered down here. Now I'm looking to get back in. And then you have AMD, which has been one of the weak sisters all the way through. Look at that, 230 to 160, 30%. Nothing to sneeze about. NVIDIA still has a decent pattern. This looks like it wants 1,000. So, maybe NVIDIA can make a new high without the market making a new high. We'll see. Amazon's important to watch. It started to cave last week. It's diverging here. I wouldn't be long Amazon. I wouldn't be long Microsoft because it's not going to confirm at new highs. And the KRE, the regional banks, look at what's holding them on the daily. You have the 200-day trapped in between the 200-day and the 50-day, and breaking down under 46 is going to give you 38. So stay away from the regionals, which tells me stay away from Russell because they're a big part of it. So I'll see everyone tomorrow with Henrik Zeberg. And Mike will be on here in a little bit. I hope we're giving you an edge, that you're learning the whys and the hows and not just following calls blindly, but learning from this so that you can do this on your own. You don't want to be dependent upon anybody. You want to be independent of everyone and be able to make decisions on your own. So keep learning. See you in the room. And above all, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios.